What's going on, Badger Nation? Let's talk Amazon PPC. I'm actually on vacation here in Colorado, traveling up and down the Arkansas River, trying to catch some trout for dinner. It is beautiful here. I've got snow-capped mountains in the distance, beautiful water flowing by, bubbling with the different shaped rocks accenting its flow. Wild trees and plants, and not a highway, a car, or another person as far as I can see. So my mind started relaxing and thinking about Amazon PPC. Now, one process that I have here at Ad Badger is personally onboarding every new Ad Badger customer. I meet with them, talk with them, learn about their situation, and explain how we can really help. Now, there's an issue that I've been seeing over and over in about 50% of accounts. So if you're listening, there's a coin flip good chance it's probably happening to you too. So let me start with the fish analogy. Imagine if 200 fishermen had just 1 mile of the river to fish for 1 hour. What would happen? Well, the top 10% of fishermen would probably catch the most fish. They know exactly where on the river to go. They know the rocks and the divots to find the most fish and where they're hiding. The rest of us folks wouldn't be able to have the time to catch anything. The average or below average fisherman needs a lot more time to capture anything. But since they only have an hour to compete with the very best fishermen, they're not going to catch anything. Now, this example is exactly what I see in so many accounts over and over again for Amazon. I once called this keyword dumping, but I actually think a better word for it is keyword choking. And it's happening more and more. It basically describes how not only your best keywords, but also new keywords that you want to test are being choked by one another. Here's how it applies to Amazon PPC. Now, similar to the 200 fishermen fishing in 1 mile for just 1 hour, where only the best fishermen catch anything, same thing's happening inside your accounts. Here's what I mean. In that example, the fish are orders and the fishermen are keywords. Every keyword is competing for your campaign's budget to get clicks and visibility. Only the most popular keywords are going to grab that visibility, the ones that get the most searches per day. The 1 mile in 1 hour, that represents your budget per day. So think of it this way. I see a lot of campaigns that have 50, 100, or more keywords in it. And if you have a campaign with ad groups with this many keywords, I almost guarantee I know what it looks like without even looking at it. Your top 10% of keywords are probably generating 90% of the orders, and then the rest of the keywords are only generating 10% of orders. Again, it's just like the 80-20, where 80% of the results come from 20% of the keywords, but more extreme. I often find on Amazon that 10% of the keywords in a particular campaign, in any particular ad group, generate 90% of the orders. Now, if you have this happening, I don't think it's because that those are just the most popular ones and they get the orders and everything else doesn't. I actually think it's because of keyword choking. So let me describe what I mean. Now, as I describe this, I want you to start thinking of your ad groups in terms of spend per keyword, per ad group, or per campaign. If you have an ad group that spends $2,000 a month with 200 keywords in it, that ends up being a tiny $10 a month per keyword you're able to spend. Now, those keywords in the bottom 90% that aren't generating barely any orders, it's not that they're less popular. It's because they're sort of being choked off by the very best ones. And later in this episode, I'll actually tell you how your best ones are actually choking the less trafficked keywords too. So using that average CPC of $1, that would only be 10 clicks in this example per keyword if you were able to divide it up perfectly. And that only ends up being 10 clicks a month or 0.3 clicks per keyword per day. You will never get enough data to be satisfied with that ad group. So I want you to start thinking of your ad groups in terms of spend per keywords. If you have 50, 75 or more keywords per ad group, you generally want at least a keyword to, have the room and budget to get at least 100 clicks a month. With a tiny spend per keyword, let's say 100 keywords and 100, maybe $1,000 in spend, there's no way you'll ever have consistent monthly data per keyword. You'll end up with 90% of your keywords having such a tiny monthly data set, making it impossible to optimize consistency, and you'll have lots of ACoS variability because these keywords, they might get one order a month, then the next month they might not have any orders, and you might look at it in the month that they don't have orders and want to pause it, and if you look at it the lifetime, you'll see that it actually did okay, but then you're scratching your head like, why is it doing worse? It could be because of keyword choking. The seemingly random up and down of this ACoS will drive you crazy. In a scenario like that, I would rather pause 90% of the keywords and let all of the budget go towards the top 10% so that I can really fine tune and optimize them than rather split my budget so thin between so many keywords. And hey, I get it. Keywords are everywhere. You can use a tool that spits out 500 seemingly good candidates and you'll want to test them all. And in fact, you should test them all. But how you test is as important as what you test. You better budget for each of them to get at least 100 clicks a month. Otherwise, you're going to have a ton of untested keywords with very little data that could be good, but they never had a chance. Their fate was sealed before you even launched the campaign. Because think about it. If you drop 500 keywords into your account, you would want at least 30 clicks a month on the low end to determine if you should pursue each one. That's 500 keywords multiplied by 30 clicks. That's 15,000 clicks. That's a lot. I had to do that calculation a few times because I was like, is this a typo? But no, 500 keywords, 30 clicks each. That's 15,000 clicks. At an average CPC of $1, that's $15,000. Most people aren't thinking in these terms, and I think it causes a lot of strife and keyword choking. You might ask, well, why am I not getting orders? It's because you're not actually testing 500 keywords. You're just testing the few most popular since they gobble up all of your budget. You'd be better off testing in smaller chunks, maybe campaigns of 20 to 30 keywords with ample budgets to get the clicks that they need to test. You'd be better off putting your top keywords into single keyword campaigns. By the way, AdBadger's single keyword campaign builder is coming this summer. You'd be better off keeping things simple, getting the data you need to determine if a keyword is a winner or not, and then testing the next chunk of keywords. You don't need to test all 500 keywords all at once. Not only does this allow testing for those 90% of the keywords that aren't going to get many orders, but when you have keyword choking and too many keywords per spend, you can actually hurt your very best keywords. I just saw this week. Here's this scenario. 2 well-intentioned actions actually ended up hurting the campaign. Let's take action A on keyword A. Let's say in an ad group of 100 keywords, you have this phenomenal keyword. You have a target ACoS of 40%, and this keyword is way down at 10% ACoS. So you can actually pump up the bid, get more clicks. This is a great keyword, get more orders. So you do that inside the ad group. So you increase the bid for that keyword. Action B on keyword B, you look down, you scroll down, you see a keyword that only has 5 clicks in the last month. So you want more data there, so you increase the bid a little bit, maybe 10, 20%. These 2 actions are going to collide like 2 hydrogen atoms and cause your ad group to explode in the wrong direction. You will actually end up with fewer clicks due to a higher CPC and a limited budget. You'll also get fewer orders because that great keyword is about to get choked by the new keyword that you're testing. You'll also have a higher ACoS because you just got more clicks with fewer orders. Everything will go in the wrong direction. Then most likely you'll jump inside your account, you'll look at keyword B and probably end up pausing it because it got 8 clicks without an order and your campaign is over target ACoS, so you just pause it because you need to clean this up. And then you go back and maybe do something dramatic like downbid keyword A because it has an ACoS of 80% because we just spent more, but we actually got fewer clicks on it, therefore fewer orders. But it would be doing great if it just had the budget and the room to get the clicks at the target CPC. So in summary, be aware of this phenomenon called keyword choking. Begin by paying attention to your ad spend per keywords. If you're only budgeting or achieving a spend like per budget per keyword of a few bucks, like on average, I have $5 in spend per keyword per month. it might be time to break these keywords out into smaller chunks in new campaigns with their own dedicated budget, or potentially pause some so that you can have your best performers get the visibility they need. And even further, maybe take some of your best keywords and put them into single keyword campaigns so this problem can entirely be avoided with their own dedicated budget and their own dedicated placement bid settings. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time for me to have this whole river to myself. I'll see you next week here on the PPC Den podcast. Have a good one.